James Gunn says the new Superman is about an immigrant coming to a country, but it's mostly a story about human kindness. And if you don't like it, screw you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is Cut at the Chase with me, Chase. And the new Superman is just around the corner, and James Gunn is running around talking like an ignorant. Seems like James Gunn is taking a starring role in promoting this movie. I have not heard like any of the actors coming out and talking about it. I've heard like a little bit of like David Cornsweet saying he reached out to Henry Cavill and another Superman to get advice, and they didn't give it to him, not out of malice, just because they were like, we're not going to give you advice to contaminate it. Do your own thing. But other than that, I really haven't heard all of these. The promotion is coming from James Gunn himself. Is not weird, I guess, because he is very much a promoter of his movies. But I don't know. I kind of want to hear from the actors too. Where are they? But anyway, if you don't happen to know who James Gunn is, he's the director of the new Superman movies, made other films like Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad movie that came out like 2020, I think it was, 2021. And he's also now head of DC Studios. So there's a little, in a nutshell, who James Gunn is. And I think it's fair to say, I don't think he's actually put out, in terms of comic book movies, a bad one as of yet. But he always seems to like borderline that. Like you always get worried. So anyway, this new Superman, he has come out and said some things that are getting under people's skin. And it's also having the Snyder Bros just going crazy about, see, we told you this movie is going to be trash. Let's take it back up and look at what's going on. What did he say? Is it maybe taken out of context? What's going on here? And the quotes that we're talking about comes from an interview he did with the Times of London. So it's safe to say probably nobody's going to read this. So, at least here in America. But Variety picked it up, and a couple of other sites too, to kind of be like, hey, what is these quotes all about? So let's look at the first quote. All right, that James Gunn is saying. I mean, Superman is the story of America, Gunn explained. An immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it's mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. Well, that's a matter of interpretation there, Mr. Gunn. When you see it like this bumper sticker, okay? I think on all sides, it ignites an anger. Nobody likes that bumper sticker. And the person sporting that bumper sticker is probably the most hateful person on the road at that point in time. Those are just facts. So it's probably not the best thing to say. You might just want to keep that to yourself. But he continues, yes, it plays differently, but it is about human kindness. And obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it is about kindness. But screw them. So that's what I mean. It's illustrating my example. Oh, you don't want to be kind? Well, screw you. So as we see, as is illustrated in this quote, human kindness is only one-sided. There's only one lens in which you can view human kindness, and that is the appropriate lens. What is that lens, Chase? It's the appropriate lens. You know which one it is. We don't need to have this discussion. What are you, bigot? He continues on. Yes, it's about politics. Oof. Oh, what a terrible thing to say about your movie. But on another level, it's about morality. Do you never kill no matter what? Which is what Superman believes? Or do you have some balance, as Lois believes? I would probably be on Lois's side. Now you're starting to give spoilers about your movie. Okay, so now I'm kind of going into this movie thinking, hey, I might be on Lois's side here. It's really about their relationship and the way different opinions on basic moral beliefs can tear two people apart. So I'm really not a fan of what he's saying here, obviously. This is something that you say about your movie, like 3 years later, 4 years later, when you're doing like a introspection or some interviewer asked you about, hey, remember that Superman movie you did? Like, or a DVD commentary or something like that. This is not stuff you say to promote your movie. Now, and I will say, usually what happens is when things like this are being said. This is especially true with like the Birds of Prey movie, which I liked. I know. Okay. Don't at me on that. But with the Birds of Prey movie or things like it, where these actors, or in this case director, is saying like, oh, it's about this topic, and or it's whatever, the gayest movie ever, and then you go and watch and you're like, it really wasn't. Like, there was hints of that theme, but it really wasn't about that. And it only detracts from the movie itself. And this is supposed to be the movie that kicks off the new DC cinematic universe. So it's like, what, like, you should just be promoting how fun and awesome this movie is going to be, because when you watch the trailer, that's what it looks like. We don't need these kinds of quotes. These are the kinds of messages that you should kind of interpret after you've watched the movie like 3 times or 4 times. And you can start seeing these messages that the director or the writer kind of sprinkled in to the movie to make it more nuanced or something like that. These shouldn't be things that you're calling out right at the beginning. So when people go watch it, they start like the whole movie, they're just looking for this messaging. Kind of ruins it. But I gotta say, it kind of makes me question as to whether or not James Gunn actually has faith in this movie, because he also said not too long ago, I'll just read the quote, said, is there something riding on this movie, Superman? Yeah, but it's not as big as people make it out to be. I don't know where you're getting that. I mean, this is what's launching the new universe. The next movie that's already filmed and completed is Supergirl. It's not going to draw as big of a fandom as Superman is, and it may not be as well received in this post-girl boss era. So they hear numbers that the movie's only going to be successful if it makes $700 million or something, and it's just complete and utter nonsense. This is what a socialist would say. Who cares about the studio's money? Is money really all that important? Or is it the art itself? The studio execs would have something to say about that, Mr. Gunn. It doesn't need to be as big of a situation as people are saying. Yeah, it actually does. Because when you have Man of Steel that came out 12 years ago, I think it made $670 million in total, which is a lot. And when you compound that with today's insane inflation, that's like Superman doing $900 million. And so, yes, you need to make sure your movie makes money, James. If you want to continue this universe, it's important that it makes money. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of like he's getting ahead of the movie potentially flopping before the movie comes out. So if it flops, you can be like, oh, yeah, we knew it would. We knew it would, actually. I think the movie will probably be very mild in that approach that we're reading about right now. And that's usually what James Gunn does. His movies have always been very comic-centered focus. So I think that's probably what we're going to get when this is all said and done. So anyways, I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments. What do you think of James Gunn's comments? Is it going to hurt the movie? I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, you know what to do. Go down and like that button. Smash that like button. And if you haven't yet already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. And if you want to support this channel directly, I actually started I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Ko-Fi? Ko-Fi? Coffee? It's Ko-Fi. If you want to support this channel directly, anything that's donated there will go directly into making this a better production. So that way you can enjoy it a little bit more than you are already. So as always, guys, peace out.